please.
So we have next is a long case, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we
We
have.
are moving on to the CA ovary long case discussion. The examiners are Dr. Abraham Pidigay, Professor and Head of Department of Gynec Oncology, PMC Vellore, and Dr. Ashwath, Professor in Obstetrics and Gynecology, Jubilee Mission Hospital, Thrissur. The postgraduates who are going to present the case are Dr. Srinija and Dr. Meera Nair from Thrissur Government Medical College, Thrissur, and Dr. Sethu Lakshmi from Amala Medical College, Thrissur. So,
Over to you, Abraham and Ashwath. And can you share the screen, students?
Okay, madam.
there is some problem with the screen sharing.
Is it visible, madam?
No. No, it's not visible.
No. I know it is possible, but I think
Yes. No, it's visible.
yeah.
Put it in the slideshow.
Okay, at the end of each slide, we may interject. So, Dr. Ashwath and I would probably ask you something at the end of each slide. So, okay?
Okay, sir. Shall I start?
Yes, please do.
Mrs. B, who is 54 years old, para-2 lied-2 with one abortion with history of normal delivery, with her LMP on October 2020, coming from Pambu, studied up to 9th standard, who is working as a maid beyond socio-economic status BPL, came with the complaints of abdominal distension for past 2 months. Coming to the history of presenting illness, patient was apparently normal 2 months before. Then she had history of abdominal distension, which was gradually in onset, progressive in nature, and not associated with abdominal pain.
So, has she been having regular menstrual cycles?
Yes, sir. She was having regular menstrual cycle till October 2020.
Dr. Ashwath, shall we go on? Okay, please carry on.
Okay, sir. Patient had a history of feeling of heaviness in the lower abdomen for past 2 weeks, and she had history of. Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? Some problem with the speaker, I think.
No, we can't hear you.
Here.
Now we can hear you. Hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check my headphone. That is only reason. Rashmi, just tell me that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes,
it's clear. Clear.
Can you hear me clear?
Clear. Yes.
Okay, that's it. Before going to that other slide, I just wanted to ask on the first slide. See, these are the common questions. What is the importance of age when you are dealing with any ovarian mass? Anyway, this is a case of what is the importance of age?
In case of epithelial ovarian cancers, the median age is around 63 years, usually between 55 to 65 years. And in in borderline tumors, usually occurs in between 40 to 50 years. And case of any germ cell tumors, usually occurs in the early teens.
We heard early. And sex cord stromal?
Usually between 20 to 40 years.
That is androgen secreting in the early, and usually the estrogen secreting tumors occurs late. What do you mean by the symptoms you told? What do you mean by positive symptom complex? These are all questions which usually asked by the examiner. What do you mean by positive symptom complex?
It includes abdominal pain, abdominal distension, early satiety, and if there is any urinary urgency or frequency which occurs for more than 12 times in a month, or if it occurs for more than 1 year.
Okay. Go to the next slide.
Yes, before you go on, anything alerting you? I mean, is there anything unusual in this so far? In this, what you have presented in this slide?
It is 54 years old and still not attained.
Okay, so that's
that is one point. And there is a sudden onset of abdominal distension. See,
yes.
Just for 2 months means
very recent. Yes,
recent onset of abdominal distension. Okay.
Yes. He had history of
And,
feeling of
and one more thing, it
Yes,
was
sir.
not associated with pain. See, when can an ovarian mass associated with pain? Small questions fast.
it can
One-
associated if there is any torsion, there
Torsion,
is infection, any
Infection.
ovarian cyst rupture,
rupture, or hemorrhage into the
hemorrhage into the
cyst. Okay,
cyst.
go to the next fast. Next slide.
Yes,
Okay.
she had history of feeling of heaviness in the lower abdomen for past 2 weeks and history of vomiting for only 1 day, which was in the 1 week before. There was no history of difficulty in voiding, no history of constipation or altered bowel habits, no history of menstrual disturbance, no history of mass descending per vagina, no history of discharge per vagina, no history of breathlessness, chest discomfort, no history of pedal edema, no history of jaundice or backache.
Basically, why did you ask all these things? Basically, what are the things you wanted to rule out? Just 2 words.
What are the from where the masses are
why these things were asked? Like, for example, pedal edema, jaundice, loss of weight, what was it? Once you wanted
signs
to
of metastasis.
once you wanted to confirm that it's a malignancy or not, and next is any evidence of, if it is malignancy, evidence of metastasis or not. Initial, what you did, pressure symptoms were there, or menstrual abnormality means she has not attained menopause till now. That is the reason why it can be anything. So it can be even a mass abdomen, can be anything in this. It can be a uterine mass or an ovarian mass. So good that you have ruled out all these things. Okay, next slide.
Why difficulty in voiding?
There's pressure.
What are the ovarian mass? When does an ovarian mass or a cyst cause difficulty in voiding?
When an
There is
ovarian mass,
Say the Lakshmi one by one. Say the
when an ovarian mass has
come on.
compressing over the bladder and
How it compresses? How it
when it-
compresses?
when it,
Difficulty in voiding. It is not that.
when a large ovarian mass
Srija,
occupying the POD,
that's it. When it is a torsion or an ovarian mass impacted in POD. So whenever it is an impacted in POD, so there are conditions where POD is a mass or something like even a pelvic hematocele or a pelvic abscess, which is pressing can cause, not that compressing on the bladder, it's compressing on the urethra in the
Yeah, if it presses the bladder, then she may void more frequently. There may be like an irritable bladder may be there. I mean, the urethra has to be stretched over the mass, and the kinking is at the bladder neck, not pressure on the bladder. Okay, go on.
Coming to menstrual history, she attained menarche 14 years of age and she had regular cycles which lasted for 5 to 6 days for 30-day cycle. And her last
just 1 second. In menstrual history, usually what type of patients are prone for ovarian malignancy? If you are discussing on ovarian tumor,
early menarche.
Early menarche.
Early menarche, late menopause, advanced age, and family history.
What about the cycles?
She will be having
regular
cycles.
frequent cycles.
Which ovarian tumor can cause menstrual irregularities even at 60 years?
Granulosa
Granulosa cell and theca cell tumors. Okay. And then come to next.
Coming to marital history, she was married at 26 years to Mr. Saradevan, who expired 8 years before. It was a non-consanguineous marriage, no history of any oral contraceptive use, and no history of any infertility
Coming
treatment.
to fast, oral contraceptive use. One word. Why? What is the relation with ovarian malignancy? One word, fast.
Use can reduce it, risk reduction by 50%, and even if it is stopped, it will give protection for 15 years.
Next, how many years?
15 years.
15 to 20 years it can give protection. Okay. 50% protection it will give. Okay. And what about the infertility treatment?
Ovulation
drugs can increase the risk for ovarian cancer.
Okay. Ovulation inducing drugs can increase the risk of ovarian cancer. Okay. Next.
The past obstetric history was first pregnancy was a spontaneous abortion 2nd month, and second pregnancy was uneventful, antenatal period was uneventful, and she has had breastfed for the 2 years. And third pregnancy was also uneventful, and for the same also she breastfed for 2 years.
And you have taught breastfeeding. What is the importance? It protects
protection.
Protection. Okay. Multiparity and breastfeeding protects. Okay.
Protection. Postpartum sterilization done after 3rd day.
What is the importance of sterilization or hysterectomy and relation with ovarian malignancy?
Descent of irritants to the tube is prevented.
What irritant usually?
talc,
Name one item. Talc.
Talc.
That is correct.
Asbestos.
Anything other thing with the tube?
Asbestos.
Tubes. Nowadays we are all concerned about the fallopian tubes and ovarian malignancy. Anything?
Does tubal ligation have anything to do with?
Yeah, it gives protection.
How? That is correct. If the
Prevention
tube
of stick.
stick means you have to remove the whole tube. That is what.
Yes.
Which part of the tube is
Fimbrial
fimbrial end? What is the full form of stick?
secretory,
Serous tubal
Serous tubal
intraepithelial
intraepithelial
carcinoma. What is caught?
secretory outgrowth.
secretory outgrowth.
Okay, secretory outgrowth. These are all theories which, and P53 theory. These are all theories which, when you are asked one word only, you should know. Okay, next.
See, when you're dealing with a possible ovarian tumor, there's no need to go into such detailed obstetric history.
Okay, sir.
You'll be answering, we'll be diverted from, you can guide the examiner as to what questions need to be asked. Otherwise, you'll be
going
off at a tangent.
Okay, sir.
Keep going.
Coming to past medical and surgical history, she's a type 2, known case of type 2 diabetes on OHA, no other relevant past history, no history of any other surgery.
Okay, leave it. Anything is next.
Family history, no history of any ovarian, breast or GI malignancy in the family, no history.
We had a detailed discussion on BRCA. Just for your take which patient, one sentence, because we got Madam Anubhav Madam has described it so well. I just want to know, what are the family history other than BRCA1, BRCA2, anything else? Any gene other than that?
Lynch 2.
Lynch type 2. Okay, Lynch 2. So, which are the patients you will go for 1, 2, 3 screening?
Patients with history of both either ovarian or breast cancer.
Simple terms you tell. Ovarian or
breast cancer.
Themselves.
Patient.
Okay, then.
Patients with ovarian.
Patient first degree or secondary relative. Make
Relative.
it very simple. Breast or ovarian cancer. Then.
Male breast cancer in the family.
Jewish
male breast cancer in the family. Any Jewish Ashkenazi ancestry is there. Okay. So
Yes.
make it very simple. 1, 2, 3. It's enough. Okay. When you are asked for genetic evaluation or is there any way that was not discussed by the previous speakers? So just I thought anyway, sir, can we discuss screening along with it now itself? Screening.
Okay, just ask. You can ask.
Just 2 questions. What is the role of screening? How do you screen?
By using CA 125, that is in case of ROCA.
What is ROCA? What is ROCA?
Risk of
Ovarian
ovarian
cancer
cancer
Cancer algorithm. How is it?
period plotting of CA 125 more
How
than
is it?
100%.
See, clinically we should know how frequently you will plot.
We'll measure the CA
Annually.
125
If
value.
it's a low risk case, every yearly it is
Every
enough.
two
If it's
years.
a high risk
Annually.
case, you have to screen it every 6 monthly or
6
3
months.
monthly. And what is it? What is it? How do you interpret? What do you do? If the how is it?
If risk is more than 1%,
Okay,
we will
then
go for transvaginal ultrasound.
that's it. We go for transvaginal ultrasound. That is what the screening is concerned. Okay, okay. What is Roma?
Risk
Risk of ovarian malignancy.
In that, what is the addition to it?
HE4
CA 125 plus
plus HE4, human
HE4.
epidermis factor.
HE4 is characteristic for which malignancy?
Ovarian malignancy.
Ovarian in which malignancy? Ovarian, all ovarian, it is not raised at all.
Epithelial.
Epithelial ovarian malignancy, and it's a marker for early
Early.
epithelial, stage 1. Okay. And
Yes.
any other use of HE4? It can be used to know the progression and regression later. Okay. Okay. Yes, very good. Meera is there. I did not hear your sound at all. Okay. You had switched off the video, then how will I ask you question? Okay.
Got out.
Okay, okay. So we go for that's it.
General.
General examination. Go for general examination.
She was moderately built and nourished
Yeah.
with a BMI of 27.34, which was overweight. There's no pallor, cyanosis, clubbing, icterus, pedal edema, or lymphadenopathy. Her vitals were stable.
Just 1 second. Just previous slide. See, what are the things specifically it can change in an ovarian cancer or ovarian malignancy, all these things. You can get positivity. In this case, you did not get anything positive. That is different
Yes.
issue.
We
Yes,
get
ah.
positive pedal edema can occur if the mass is large, compressing the lymphatic vessels.
Okay, pedal edema. Good, Meera. Then continue.
Pallor can be present.
Pallor can be present. Good.
Then
lymph
BM
node
cachexic.
Jaundice can be there.
if there is liver
Yes.
involvement.
If
If
met
liver
fetal
involvement, portahepatitis or
Liver
liver involvement, jaundice can be there. Then what about lymph nodes?
Lymphadenopathy can be.
Lymph
lymph
node can
node,
be palpable.
Which lymph node are you asking?
Which
And
lymph
how
node
do you
is
examine
Supraclavicular and
valid?
inguinal.
Eh?
Supraclavicular and
Clavicular lymph
inguinal.
nodes and
You did
inguinal
not
lymph nodes.
look for axillary nodes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Accelerator.
If
Yes.
you miss it in ovarian malignancy,
Rest.
what is the importance of axillary nodes in ovarian malignancy?
Because
Rule out
it's
associated breast HbO2
Ah,
and in
secondary,
propofol.
secondary from breast. So if you
Yes.
have not palpated,
Primary
and
in
it is
the
a
breast.
minus mark. Okay, minus mark. Simple. This whatever you heard that theory questions classes are well detailed taken, but that type of questions will not be asked in exam. Very simple questions will be asked, and everybody should know that why that left supraclavicular lymph node is enlarged. All of you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Where do you
What is
look?
it? One word.
Because
Because what?
lymphatics from the upper abdomen
Lower
and the
limb.
lower limb
Ah,
comes to the junction of the
that is
subclavian
through what? Thoracic duct.
through
Sternocleidomastoid and
cisterna
thoracic
chyli.
And sister thoracic duct.
So it is a
sternocleidomastoid
valvulus
enters.
duct.
No. That is not valvulus. The junction it enters there, but the
Galanticular
lymphatic
duct
drainage from the supraclavicular
Supraclavicular
node
node is
enters in the
valvulus.
subclavian. That is valvulus. Okay.
Where
That's
do you
okay.
look for the Virchow's node?
That's
left supraclavicular.
Where do you look for it?
correct. You should.
clavicular
Just above the middle of the clavicle.
clavicular inside.
Between the two heads of the sternocleidomastoid. See, it's a very specific answer. Not middle of the clavicle.
Two heads of the sternocleidomastoid.
Sternocleidomastoid.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next.
Coming to systemic examination, breast and thyroid is normal, spine and
See,
hips.
so
normal,
can I just interrupt you? See, one very important thing when you assess a patient with an ovarian tumor is her frailty. I mean, can she walk around? Can she climb stairs? I mean,
Yes.
can you assess that?
Spine and gait was normal.
Spine and gait normal.
She can walk around, sir.
Yeah, keep going.
Coming to abdominal examination, on inspection, abdomen was grossly distended, umbilicus in midline and inverted. Skin over the abdomen normal. There was 2 centimeter transverse scar of the suprapubic region, and there was no sinus, dilated veins, or visible pulsation. All quadrants moves equally with respiration, and the hernial orifices were free. On palpation, a large abdominopelvic mass corresponding to 32-week size gravid uterus is palpable, which is firm to hard in consistency with regular surface, well-defined margin, lower border not palpable, and restricted vertical and horizontal mobility, and was non-tender. There was no hepatosplenomegaly. On percussion, dull knot
I
was
see. On palpation, is it an ovarian mass or a uterine mass?
ovarian mass.
How do you say?
Is it an abdominal mass or a pelvic arising from the pelvis?
From the palpation alone, we cannot conclude it as an ovarian mass.
No, is it arising from the abdomen or arising from the pelvis?
Probably from the pelvis.
How
The
you
lower
can
border
say?
is not
Which is-
palpable.
Lower
Of the
border
lower
is
border
not
Is not
palpable.
palpable.
Okay, yeah. Okay, can you say from this, as she correctly told, such a big mass, you may not be able to, say that it's a tense mass, means you may not be able to say that it's
Able to correctly.
even correctly where it is. There are 8 signs for the PGs who are there. 8 things when you tell about a mass. It is there. All these things are there. For the others are, yes, site, size, tape, surface, consistency, mobility, tenderness, margin. These are the 8 things should be there whenever you describe about a mass. Okay, always I remember that 4 S is there. Site, size, shape, surface, consistency, mobility, tenderness, and margin. So this is there means it has to be there even if you have surgical case presentation or a gynec case presentation. Okay.
And also you should know how to divide the abdomen into different areas. Can you tell us?
Quadrants. Yes, tell.
Is it quadrants
9.
or 9
Yes,
areas?
sir.
How do you divide?
From starting from Hello. Starting from below.
Mira,
Hypo-
No, 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 just tell us the lines. What are the lines? What are the lines you're talking about?
one person answer. Mira, you answer. Okay.
First line passing through the anterior superior.
To anterior superior iliac.
Don't waste time. Next person, Srinija. Sedhu Lakshmi, answer.
Two vertical lines passing through the midclavicular line.
Yeah.
Two horizontal lines.
Horizontal.
Upper line, lower line passing through the anterior superior iliac spine. And upper line at the junction of fossa.
Line.
Okay, so you have to be very sure. Is it subpyloric line or subcostal line? You know, you have to know all these things. Okay, keep going.
Percussion,
Not-
ascites was there.
No, sir.
Actually, it will be very difficult in this case
Difficult to
to see
ascertain
that
this large
because
mass.
a fluid filled such a big cyst can feel like fluid thrill is there. Okay, so it is very difficult to shift.
Can you tell us how do you differentiate between massive ascites and a massive ovarian cyst?
Yes.
If there is fluid,
Fluid thrill will be there in case of
fluid
massive.
thrill
There
will
is
be
Both will
mass
have fluid thrill. Both will have fluid thrill.
Shifting dullness. Flanks we will get dull nose in case of ascites. In case
Okay.
of large ovarian mass, flanks as the bowel is displaced to the flanks, we will get resonant note in the flanks and dull note in the middle.
Good, good.
Okay, so it's percussion only that can make out. Okay.
Okay, okay.
in auscultation, vowel sounds was heard and there was no bruit.
No bruit. Why bruit you asked?
Just the vascularity in case of
In
Like there will
vascularity.
be such a big mass, you will be able to, because the vascularity will be increased in case of malignancy.
Were
Okay.
there any distended veins in this patient? In the
No,
abdomen?
sir, it
Just
was
go
not
to-
visible.
Can you go to inspection? Did you mention that?
There was no distended veins, no dilated veins.
Okay, you didn't mention it, but can you tell me how the blood flows when you have distended veins?
umbilicus will act as a watershed area.
And the blood flow from the
From the umbilicus, the blood flow
We are
down
not talking of portal hypertension. We are talking of an ovarian tumor. We are not
Ovarian-
talking of caput medusae. We are
in
talking of
ovarian
venous
tumor,
flow in distended veins in an ovarian tumor. Where will you find it and how will the blood flow?
there will be increased blood flow due to relative resistance,
There will be
decreased resistance to the blood flow due to neovascularization.
blood flow will be more and bilateral.
No,
flow.
you will find the vessels on the lateral aspect and it will go from below upwards. That's all you have to say. Okay.
Coming to examination of external genitalia, on inspection, vulva, labia major and minor was normal, pubic hair was sparse, and external urethral meatus was normal. And on perspectival examination, cervix appears healthy and there was a small mucosal polyp protruding through those. On bimanual pelvic examination, a large abdominal pelvic mass of size about 25 to 25 and 20 centimeter felt higher up.
So
It
what
was
did you do with that
different-
polyp? Did you remove the polyp? What will you do? Suppose she's in your clinic. You have done a speculum. You are seeing a polyp. What are you going to do now?
We can take a polypectomy.
Okay. Will you do a pap smear?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
See,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So in real life, when you examine a
You do
patient,
paps.
these things have to be done. In the exam, it's okay. Your investigations come later. But I'm asking
sir.
you, when you're put in a speculum and you see these things, what will you do?
We will do that.
We will take a
Polypectomy and,
pap smear and
That's here.
Anything else?
Can also go for endometrial biopsy.
after.
Okay. So
Yes,
you
yes.
want to do a pipal biopsy?
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Definitely we will do.
Okay. Okay. Now keep going. This is not the usual exam order, but when you're seeing a patient, this is what happens. Okay.
This mass was tipped through all fornices. It was firm to hard in consistency, which is non-tender with restricted mobility, and uterus was not separately felt from the mass, and there was no nodularity in pouch of Douglas. On rectovaginal examination, rectal mucosa was free, and there was no nodularity or deposits in.
Whenever there
Pouch
is
of Douglas.
nodularity in the pouch of Douglas, what does it mean?
Lunar
Uh,
deposit.
There is abdominal metastasis, advanced malignancy.
There is abdominal metastasis. Okay, if you have, and when you get, see, this is all after investigation to, when it's a confirmed, this abdominal, when you have that suspicion of ovarian malignancy and you get, and rectal examination, you have to see for two things. One, you have to see the rectovaginal septum and you have to see the rectum itself. So
Rectum view.
rectovaginal examination also you have to do. Okay, like
Yes,
this you have to do. See that, and only you will be able to know. Okay.
Yes.
This nodularity, I mean, is it always a metastasis, or can you make out, suppose it's an endometriosis or?
Endometriosis,
Yes,
I
sir.
think.
In even
Only if it's a malignancy. Okay.
Coming summary, Mrs. B, 54 years, which was para to live to previous one abortion, sterilized, LMP 5 months before.
We need a
We
summary,
found-
not one big essay here. Summary is only 2 lines, finished. Please tell us, finish it off in 2 lines.
She was 54 years old with para to live to with previous LMP 5 months before. History of abdominal distension for 1 month, no relevant. Or she is
There's no need
diabetic.
to go all this.
All abdominal.
No, you tell
See,
only
she
the
presented,
positive thing.
she's premenopausal or postmenopausal?
Premenopause.
Okay, so you don't have to say all this 5 months. You just decide, is she premenopausal, postmenopausal? Is she having regular, and your main problem is abdominal distension.
Yes, sir.
And you are finding.
And the 32
that's it.
weeks.
And,
Yes, sir.
32 week size.
32
okay.
weeks
Abdominal pelvic
mass.
mass was palpable, which was hard, firm to hard consistency.
Okay,
And the same mass was palpable in bimanual pelvic
Okay, diagnosis.
examination. On diagnosis, it was a 52-year-old paratolitis with type 2 diabetes, probably large abdominal pelvic mass, probably ovarian malignancy.
why did you say ovarian malignancy? Why not fibroid uterus? Because you said the uterus was not felt separately.
The
Yes,
consistency
sir.
of the mass.
The history, it was an sudden onset within 2 months. She had history of abdominal distension. And hello.
Okay,
Yes.
Hi.
Yes,
Then
so
from her
so the
history,
short-
it is also aware that she has not attained menopause. So it is there is late menopause. And from examination, we have found that on abdominal examination, there is large abdominal pelvic mass with whose lower border is not
No,
palpable.
why
and
do you say
was
gravid uterus? Okay, 32 week size gravid uterus. Okay.
corresponding to it will
Gravid,
be easy
okay.
to understand.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean, I
okay.
don't
It will
see
be easy
any.
to convey the
see,
size.
the uterus, even on rectal examination, you could not feel the uterus.
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
Alright.
now we have 2 diagnoses actually. First probable diagnosis is ovarian, then comes an uterine mass.
And
Okay.
yes.
Now let us see what you will do now. Okay. One by one, Sethu Lakshmi, come on, fast. What you will do now? You heard all these things, so it is very easy for you to tell now.
So, based on my clinical examination, I have 2 differential diagnoses. To evaluate this,
That is all okay. They leave. What
we'll
is
go
the
for
next step?
imaging
See,
techniques to come to a
What
definite
imaging are you
diagnosis.
going to do now?
We'll
So
go
you have
for
done
transabdominal-
polypectomy, you have done pap smear, you have done pipal biopsy. What next?
We go for an transabdominal ultrasound.
Transabdominal.
only transabdominal. You
125.
want substantiate with transvaginal also.
The transabdominal and transvaginal. But
Ah,
moreover,
maybe,
since his
yeah.
mass is more palpable over the abdomen, transabdominal ultrasound may suffice.
Transabdominal is needed, but transvaginal also sometimes it
Indeed.
substantiate with like my uterus is very small. It will be, you will see better in a transvaginal the uterus to differentiate. Okay, so always combined approach will be better. Okay, whenever it's a big mass.
What
Okay.
will you look for in abdominal ultrasound?
We look for
You
the
have to-
characteristics of the mass.
Height of the tumor, size.
Characteristics we have to differentiate.
Ah,
It is benign or malignant.
you
by
now
looking at the
heard the
characteristics.
all
Yeah.
Iota.
The iota,
A, B,
okay.
and L.
iota, B and L. B, what are the B rules? B and
It
no
is
need.
unique.
Only malignancy you tell. Nothing. What are the malignant features?
Irregular solid
Women.
tumor with presence of ascites,
Ascites,
papillary projections, thick
Project
septate,
4 then 4 projections.
thick capsule,
Multilocular
imbriced vascularity, presence
Oh,
of ascites.
size of
Multi-
the multilocular is how much? Size
More
anything?
than 100
Size more than
100 millimeter.
100 millimeter or 10 centimeter. Okay. 10 centimeter. So you have done the it's a benign or malignant. You feel that it's a very big tumor, and you feel that it's a papillary projections and all these things are there.
See, not only the mass,
and,
no, what else
do
are you
you-
going to look for? Apart from the mass.
You have to look on the kidneys,
Involvement, spread.
liver, spleen.
Okay, so you want to know whether there's any hydronephrosis, you want to know whether there's any liver
Any
secondaries,
metastasis.
Ascites.
Lymph
Omen-
nodes.
omental cake.
Communal gain.
All these things you will get to an extent only. Will you do a Doppler along with it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Vascularity.
What do you
To
get in
Malignancy, the
Doppler?
RI
PI
score
will be
0.4.
less than 1 and RI will be less than 0.4 in
PI
case of
and
malignancy.
RI will be less. RI will be less than 0.4. That is all okay. That is okay. So that color score is there. See, you know
Yes,
that
sir.
color score, that iota classification, color score is there. Maybe what? See, like 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. No flow. 1. 1. 2 means minimal flow. 3 means moderate flow, and 4 means highly vascular tumor. Okay. Where exactly you will look for is that tumor wall on the papillae and peritumor areas. These are the areas which when you put a Doppler you will look for. Okay, leave it. That is all. Now go to the next investigation. See, you have done this. You have got, you cannot get all informations. You have a suspicion now also of an ovarian malignancy.
Correct,
So
sir.
any further investigation to confirm it you will do?
You also need
CT
some
scan.
tumor markers.
Tumor
CT or
markers.
MRI. So that was clearly mentioned. Why CT? In which case MRI? You heard that Ledamika madam telling. It's just a repetition only. So when you are a confusion here, in this case, what will be beneficial? Initially, MRI or CT?
CT scan will be beneficial.
No.
MRI.
Why? Because you have a confusion of what this mass is. Okay. Whenever there is a soft tissue mass to identify, always it is better to have an MRI. Okay. CT scan gives you staging. CT is enough. I agree with it. And another problem of CT
No, I
is
want
that
to ask you, will you do both? You're going to 10,000, 20,000 bucks will go for the patient.
Either
If you're
CT
doing
or
and
MRI.
MRI only in this case. Okay.
Only one
Yes.
investigation.
Only
MRI.
one. In this case, depending on which is better in per case. So in this case, MRI, you will get all the other informations also. Okay, what are things you saw that all these things were, it was explained. So many, Chitradhara madam told so many scores. Okay, that is all. You would have listened to it. I'm not elaborating on it. Okay, go for the. So you have gone to CT, MRI. Then also you have not confirmed. How do you confirm its malignancy?
We can go
For
Uh,
a tumor marker for a
definitive
diagnosis.
What do
FNAC
you?
or
You should
we have
have
the
a
histopathological report.
histopathology. So in this case, what histopathology? There is no ascites. Okay.
How do you get it?
Can take.
Then what will you do?
Either
FNAC can be taken from
guided
the
biopsy.
USG guided FNAC.
But why do you want to see? Why do you want an FNAC now?
Surgical staging. We will go for
You
a
can
surgical.
go for if it is a big cyst, okay, unilocular cyst. Many times without any solid areas are there. It's very difficult to get an FNAC also.
Yes, sir.
And it is not a must. FNAC is not a must. FNAC is must when it is when you suspect an advanced malignancy.
See, only if you're not going to operate. Only if you're not going to operate, you should do a biopsy. Otherwise, you should open.
Open.
Okay.
See, only if you are planning for a neoadjuvant or you are not able to operate, you feel, then you have to get a tissue diagnosis. Otherwise, no tissue diagnosis needed. You can directly go for surgery. That is
Okay. Suppose the ovaries are normal on imaging. What is this mass due to from the uterus? What sort of mass do you think it can be?
If they fibroid having a malignancy.
No, you think it's not fibroid. What else can it be?
It can.
Large mucinous adenoma.
No, it's not ovary. Ovaries are normal on imaging.
Yeah, ovarian.
It's you said it is more solid, no, firm and all that.
Mesenteric cyst.
Sorry,
Mesenteric cyst.
it's not a cyst.
Hydronephros. Gross
Kidneys are no, from the uterus. What will you get? What mass can you get?
endometriosis.
Pedunculated fibroids.
Something that comes up in 2 months.
Sarcoma.
Yeah, you have to think of as a leiomyosarcoma.
How do you suspect a sarcoma in a fibroid? What are the points? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rapid
Clinically.
increase in size of it previously no.
Okay, rapid increase in size.
Mm.
Sudden onset of pain. There is no time to discuss. Sudden onset of pain and sudden irregularities in period. Menstrual irregularities come forward. So then suddenly you will feel that it can be a sarcomatous change in a fibroid. Okay, it's very rare. You know what percentage always it is less than 1% chance for fibroid to become a 0.5% chance for become less than 0.5. Okay. Okay.
What else will, if the imaging is not clear about what else can help you decide whether it's malignancy or not? It is, let's say the uterus is normal. Now it's an ovarian mass. What tumor markers are you going to ask for?
We can do CA 125, CA.
Okay, what should for an ovarian mass, what is the ratio of CA125 to CA?
It should be more than 25.
CA125 more than 200.
Okay, so we have done, what other investigations will you do?
We have to do other basic investigation along with chest X-ray. Before doing,
No, are you thinking of operating or are you thinking of chemotherapy now?
Thinking of staging laparotomy operation.
Okay, so now you want to do some investigations before you operate. So you want to do chest X-ray? You want to do
We
ECG?
have to do basic blood investigations, complete blood count, RFT, LFT, and platelet, PTINR. We have to go with
all the pre-op investigations you have done. Okay.
Suspecting any?
Okay, don't forget ECG.
Yes, sir.
Which type of can it be, if it was then now it's a 2-month-old sudden increase in size. If it was increasing gradually, which type of ovarian mass you would have suspected?
Borderline.
Okay, borderline tumor. Okay, if
Yes,
it have increased, age is little late, but it can have a sudden such huge tumors which have, it can high chance for borderline without ascites and all these things such occur, borderline tumors.
Suppose all your CA125 and CE all are normal. Any other tumor that can, what other tumor can you think of?
Non-epithelial mucinous tumor.
What do you mean, what is non-epithelial mucinous? Mucinous is epithelial. What a non-epithelial, which tumor you can think of?
Which other tumor?
When she is having menstruation.
One is granulosa cell tumor.
What is the tumor marker for granulosa cell tumor?
Inhibin estradiol.
Sorry?
Inhibin estradiol.
Okay, estradiol may not be very useful unless it's postmenopausal. But what about AMH? It's much cheaper than inhibin.
Yes.
Inhibin A or inhibin B?
Inhibin B.
Okay, so inhibin B or even anti-Mullerian hormone you can check.
Inhibin B, AMH, you can check. Okay. Then now you are going for laparotomy. Okay. Okay, start fast.
Procedure. How will you start?
What are things you will do?
After pre-op.
After
pre-op
investigations,
you have to inform consent.
Any special concern you have to take?
Get an addition consent.
We have to get an informed consent regarding
all the other things
regarding the
go for any extent. So colostomy, resection, everything has to be told to the patient. How do you is the preparation of a hysterectomy patient different from the preparation of an ovarian preparation?
Bowel preparation is also needed.
What is the commonest bowel preparation you use?
Peg-leg and is
okay. Okay. Well, that is okay. So now you are going for a laparotomy. What is
do you know what the ERAS is? ERAS protocol.
Enhanced Victoria. Enhanced Victoria after surgery.
Okay, so there are various components. Okay, so that you need
recommend a bowel prep.
Okay.
Okay, now what
so
are the things
you have done the pre-op counseling. What about cross match? You want cross match?
We have to arrange. Yes, sir.
Cross match. So how many units of blood you'll keep?
2 pints.
2 pints.
Okay, 2 pints. Okay. It depends on our hemoglobin, of course.
Yes. Then procedure coming to procedure.
Now you have entered. The patient is entering theatre. What happens? Theatre.
First, adequate anesthesia is given, followed by
what is adequate
midline vertical incision.
What is adequate anesthesia? Spinal.
General anesthesia.
Epidural
anesthesia.
You can't do this under epidural only.
GA plus epidural. Then only you will get a proper
epidural.
Okay. What is the position of the patient?
Supine position.
Supine position.
Supine.
Okay. So only thing is when you're doing malignant ovarian tumors, you have to be very careful because if there are nodules in the pouch of Douglas, or if you need rectosigmoid resection, she'll have to be in the Lloyd Davis position in stirrups. Otherwise, how will you access the lower rectum? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
you have to be very careful here. I mean, here if
Yes.
you say confidently that this is absolute, I'm sure there's no bowel involvement. Even then, sometimes if there's ascites or if it's a, you never know. You'll always be caught up. They'll be surprised during surgery. Okay.
So what are things you will
Yes,
do?
sir.
Now, what are things you will remove fast? What are things? It's a you have
Midline,
entered.
we will take the ascitic. If there is
What you are
ascitic
doing,
fluid, we will
eh,
take that, or we will take peritoneal wash cytology. Then we will inspect inspection from starting from ileum cecum, from ascending colon, splenic, from hepatic flexure, portohepatis, under surface of the diaphragm,
Okay, good.
transverse colon, splenic flexure, and coming to descending colon, less omentum and small intestine. Then after that, we will proceed with
Imagine that it's only a big ovarian mass and there is no deposits or they are not palpated, lymph nodes looks normal. So you are proceeding with staging laparotomy.
yes, sir.
Okay. You know the difference between you heard from in the staging laparotomy and optimal
Cyto-
cytoreduction. Okay. Now it is a
Okay.
complete
Stage
cytoreduction.
2B.
Staging up to what stage? Just up to what stage roughly you will do
Stage
staging
2B.
laparotomy? Now stage 2 up to stage 2B, that is rough actually. Why
Yes.
it is a difference? What is the why you want to do staging is that ideally if you do a staging, it should not require a chemotherapy. That is what the concept is. Okay, but up to 2B you will be doing. What is the difference in staging?
will
Staging
remove the
laparotomy. What are the other things you will remove
We have to remove
other than uterus and ovaries?
we will
the
palpable
Palpable
comment,
omentomy and what about
Lymph-
lymph nodes?
lymph nodes,
Palpable
pelvic and
lymph nodes.
parietal.
You have to remove pelvic and paraaortic lymph nodes. Okay, and you have to take if there is no other nodes or anything is there, no other. What you have to take sites on the 5 sites, anterior,
Peritoneal,
posterior,
biopsy from
peritoneal
posterior
biopsies from bladder, peritoneum, POD,
and
both
both right
paracolic
and
udders
left
and from the
and under
liver.
under
How
section.
do you take? How do you take from the undersurface of diaphragm?
Using an
Yes,
IS spatula.
You can use an iron spatula and scrape it out, okay, and send it for it.
In apparent stage 1, how often this staging procedure, no? How in what proportion of cases it's upstaged? In apparent stage 1. You think it is stage 1, so you've done all these staging procedures, and at the end of it, 10 days later, when your biopsy result comes, the stage maybe have to be changed, no?
Yes, sir. 27 to 30.
Okay, so almost a
22%,
30%,
30, 22, 30%.
so that's the importance of doing the staging.
Yes.
So you have done the staging, okay. You have done the staging and sent it, and histopathology report has come. Okay, imagine. What is the next step?
We have to plan for
Chemo or not? Which are the cases where you say that okay, you need only follow up?
Can you tell us what the stage 3? Can you tell me what stage 3B is?
stage 3P is macroscopic
Peritoneal involvement less than 2 centimeters.
metastasis less than 2 centimeters.
Spread to the outside the pelvis to the abdomen. Okay.
Okay, you have taken it out, and now you are planning chemo. Adjuvant is not needed in 1A, G1, G2. Okay.
Yes.
So otherwise you need adjuvant. So you have planned for, you heard about the chemotherapy. You have planned for adjuvant. Which adjuvant you will give? Common
is paclitaxel and carboplatin.
Paclitaxel and carboplatin. Just know the dose of both. Paclitaxel, how much you will give?
175 milligram per meter square.
175 milligram per meter square.
175 milligram per meter square. Okay, paclitaxel and carboplatin.
Area under the curve.
Actually, area under the curve. How much you take usually? 4 or 5. Okay. Why that is importance of this? Why only carboplatin is done under area under curve and all the other things under? What is the difference? Because it's a very due to renal toxicity. So there is a formula where they say, okay, GFR plus 25. So GFR has to be calculated. There are many apps are there to calculate this. So the GFR plus 25 into 5. That is the dosage. That is so different will be different for the different category of patients. Okay.
Can you name some complications? One complication of paclitaxel? Immediate complication and one late complication.
Neurotoxicity.
That is a late complication. Immediate, what you said.
Allergic
what is
reactions will
important?
be increased.
Hypersensitivity.
Allergy.
Hypersensitivity. That is why if you have, I
Yes.
feel that you are from Amala, I think. So you will be, you would have observed that how paclitaxel is given. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Tell me, Sedulakshmi, how paclitaxel is given.
Actually, in the first setting, the patient will be admitted in the hospital, and IV drip of the drug will be given and patient with 1 or 2 to 10 or 8 to 9 10 drops.
5 ml it is given and you wait for 3
So the
hours.
pa-
Okay. And then
patient will be
only you
observed.
start. That is, if paclitaxel is sensitive to paclitaxel, imagine there is allergic reaction. What is the other option which you have? Doxytaxel. Good, good. That's a small things.
We
Doxytaxel.
can
Okay, I have to leave now. So Ashwath, please continue.
I will
think
continue. I will continue.
congratulations to organizers for a very well done conference. Sorry, I have to leave now.
Oh, no problem, sir. I will continue. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's
thank
an
you.
honor
Bye.
to be with you. Okay.
No, it's, and I think the students are doing well. Okay.
Thank you,
students
sir.
are good. Very good students. Okay. Okay. Come on. You tell. So it can be doxytaxel. Okay. That is okay. So this is, so you have given very fast. We will go because the time is less. See, you have given how many cycles you will give?
6 cycles.
6 cycles. 6 cycles. After 6 cycles, what will you do?
Have to follow up the patient.
How do you follow up? Fast. How do you follow up?
In the first year, every 3 months. In the second year, every 6 months. Then lifelong.
First,
Yearly lifelong.
first 2 years is very important because most of the recurrences occurs in the first 2 years. Okay. That is why first 2 years. What we mean by 3 words, usually which is asked once it is given, there are 3 words: platinum sensitive, platinum refractory, platinum resistant, and platinum very sensitive. What do you mean by platinum refractory?
And
Even if it can
One
progress
person,
with
Sedulakshmi, when this is given, while the drug is given, it is
disease is
progressing.
progressing.
Okay. Platinum resistant.
There is a recurrence within 6 months.
Within 6 months of giving, there is a recurrence. Platinum sensitive.
This is the interval of at least 6 months. Then recurrence occurs after 6 months.
Only after. Platinum very sensitive.
After,
After
1 year.
1 year.
Recurrence after 1 year.
Okay, where recurrence after 1 year. So imagine that it is a platinum. If there is after 1 year, the patient comes with again abdominal pain. Okay, and you do a scan or your routine scan and CT scan found that there is a local mass over the pelvis, in the pelvis, about 2 into 2 centimeter mass is over the pelvis. What are your options?
Since it is
Secondary
platinum
debulk-
sensitive, we can,
secondary cytoreduction can be
we can
done.
Secondary cytoreduction. The word secondary, which are the 4 indications for secondary cytoreduction?
platinum
Solitary tumor when no
Platinum
ascites,
sensitive,
solitary
no
site of
ascites,
recurrence. No
Ah.
solitary site of
perform.
recurrence.
single solitary recurrence. Okay, so
No
that is the
ascites.
only time
Good
when you will
performance.
be able to do platinum. This is when you do
Platinum
sensitive. If the platinum resistant,
we
Then
can go
what
for
will you do?
second line chemo.
you will not go for surgery only in case of platinum sensitive. So don't answer surgery at all. You have to go for second line
Second line
chemotherapy.
chemotherapy.
Name second line drugs.
Regulated liposomal
Liposomal doxorubicin. Okay. Why you want to make it
Tococytes.
pegulated liposomal doxorubicin? Why can't you give
Increase the
doxorubicin?
half-life.
Then another point.
It
Because
reduce the
doxorubicin is a
toxicity.
drug. Which toxicity? Cardiac toxicity.
Yes,
Okay.
cardiac.
So that is why you have gone liposomal doxorubicin. That is leave it. That is a theory. So you can only doxorubicin then.
Topotecan,
Topotecan,
etoposide,
gemcitabine,
gemcitabine,
etoposide, all this
bevacizumab.
drug can be given. So what about bevacizumab?
It can be
You
used.
heard madam telling
Yes, sir.
bevacizumab.
Maintenance.
It can be
Used.
used.
Antigens is
See, now there is nothing called maintenance or consolidation. Bevacizumab, it can be new trials you saw. It can be given along with the first drug itself. Okay,
Yes, right.
and then you
Yes.
can continue bevacizumab. And madam told clearly, you should have heard anybody. Bevacizumab is very effective in one type of patient. What is it? If you have heard the lecture. No. That is what? That is PARP inhibitors. That is PARP inhibitor. Bevacizumab, if you have heard it, it's excellent point. Madam told that what is it? That point because resistant. Whenever the patient is having resistant ascites, okay. Whenever the patient is having resistant, what is bevacizumab?
Anti-VEGF.
Anti-VEGF.
Vascular
Vascular
endothelial growth factor inhibitor. Other is a PARP inhibitors. Olaparb is a PARP inhibitor. Olaparb, you don't need to learn too much. In BRCA positive cases, olaparb is very effective. So that is why genetic screening in ovarian cancer has important role. That point has been highlighted by Jyoti madam also. Okay, that's it. That is what it. Now you go back actually. See, a surgeon like a surgeon like Abraham sir, and maybe I am not as good surgeon as Abraham sir. So I am opening a case. I thought I could do a staging laparotomy. Now I am opening. I am not able to do it. So what I will do?
Take a
Take a
biopsy.
I have
biopsy.
opened.
biopsy.
So see, ideally it should be a complete cytoreduction nowadays. Okay, complete cytoreduction. Nothing should be remaining. Okay. So complete. If I am so, you take a biopsy and close it and send the patient for a neoadjuvant chemotherapy. Ideally, this would have been assessed by the scores which was told by Madam Chitrara Madam, that all the scores, so many scores are whichever you have. There are how many apps are there. It's very easy actually. Any of the scores you use, and ideally it should have been diagnosed before. Okay, diagnosed before. Okay, so that is why, and then you go for. So you have when you go for each.
Dr. Aswat,
Yes. Yes.
can I make one point here, please?
Yes, point. Yes, madam.
Yeah.
You can make.
So I think when we are in a dilemma, we can also take help of diagnostic laparoscopy instead of opening.
Okay, that we are coming. That we are coming, madam. That I am coming to it. What is the indications for laparoscopy? I was coming to it. What was the indication for laparoscopy in ovarian malignancy? Indications.
To take biopsy and in case of second look surgery.
Can you do laparoscopy for early cancers? Yes. Now
yes,
laparoscopy
yes,
can be done, but what are the precautions you should take?
Tumor spillage. Avoid tumor.
So what will you do? You should put it in an endo bag.
yes.
Okay, endo bag and take the specimen through the endo bag. Okay, that is one thing. And early one point about laparoscopy is that early, and what madam told clearly, that in late advanced stages you can use laparoscopy. And one more thing for laparoscopy is that recently I will tell you one case. Both ovaries, patient had ascites, both ovaries were normal. Okay.
Yes.
And we wanted suspected case of peritoneal carcinoma, primary peritoneal carcinoma. So both ovaries were normal, peritoneal carcinoma, then no use of taking ascitic fluid for, then you have to go with a laparoscope, take biopsies. We took biopsies. So these are different indications for, is there any nowadays any role for second look laparoscopy or laparotomy?
No role.
No role for
only in
second.
research.
No role. So in your exam, is there any role for dose dense
Second look session.
therapy? Dose dense.
No,
What
no.
is dose dense? You are giving
Paclitaxel
double the dose. Okay, more frequently. That is means you are doing it instead of 3 weekly, you are doing it 2 weekly.
Every
That
week.
is what. Now there is no role. That is in breast, it is some role, but no role in ovarian malignancy. Okay, you understood this much?
Yes.
Okay, all of you understood this much. So going back, you see, we told about, is there any role for radiotherapy?
There is
As
no.
such, any role for radiotherapy?
No role.
If it is
Not much role,
Paclitaxel.
but you can have radiotherapy in a different ways. You can
palliative.
have palliative. You can have palliative. More than that, anything else?
Platinum even resistant to second line.
Okay. Even resistant cases, which are very resistant cases, palliative when there is a bowel obstruction and all these things, we may have very advanced case when it's on. Then these are the things where radiotherapy can be there, but due to its complicated, it's not used. What are the other ways of giving chemotherapy? Just 1 or 2 points which you learned. Other ways.
Intraperitoneal chemo.
What is intraperitoneal chemotherapy? How do you give? After
it
the
can be
surgery,
given-
you put where did you put the ports for the chemotherapy?
Subcostal.
Subcostal. And what you do? First day,
We
what
give-
you give? How do you give?
In
Have you
first day, intravenous paclitaxel 135 milligram per meter square.
Okay,
estimate.
then
Second day,
On the
this is
third day, carboplatin 100
carboplatin.
100
then
milligram
eighth day again. It is
Again,
that
we are
was
giving
175.
paclitaxel.
Here, what do you mean by HIPEC? And what is the advantage of intraperitoneal? And name one advantage and name one disadvantage of intraperitoneal. One advantage and one disadvantage.
higher concentration of the
Absorption
drug
will
at
be
the
more.
Okay,
local
that's it. High concentration. It's a one disadvantage.
Ports, catheter.
catheter related complications.
No, it can cause infection, peritonitis, and all these things. Okay, intraperitoneal can cause infection, peritonitis, abscess, and all these things can happen. So it has to be very careful. So what is the indication for intraperitoneal?
If there is optimally cytoreduction, has been
If you have done only point, if you have done optimal cytoreduction, intraperitoneal chemotherapy. Okay, what is
Yes.
HIPEC? Last we'll finish it. What is
Hypothermic
HIPEC?
intraperitoneal chemotherapy, where the chemotherapeutic agent is heated to around 41 to 42 degrees Celsius, and the chemotherapeutic agent is given for 90 ml.
Okay, what is the advantage of HIPEC? Why you want to heat it?
Absorption is more.
One is
less.
absorption is more than
The systemic dose of the drug can be reduced so that we can avoid systemic
okay,
side
systemic
effects.
complications are less 3. See, if it is a dead tissue or necrotic tissues are there, how will when you give IV chemotherapy, it will reach there. Okay, and the local concentration will be more. And when you have very small metastasis, which you cannot see, is there, microscopic is there, that also can have. And which are the drugs which can be given? HIPEC. Carboplatin can be given, 5-fluorouracil can be given, okay, mitomycin can be given, all these things, okay. 2 ways. How much time you will do it, HIPEC?
Around
90 minutes. 90 minutes you are doing. 90 minutes. 90 minutes you are doing. Kunjumoideen, how much time remaining? Just to see. Kunjumoideen?
It's almost time.
Just 2 questions. Just 2 things I will add to it. That is why. See, in your exam, they will ask you name few trials, names of trials. You tell.
Icon trial.
Good. Icon trial, action trial. Then.
GOG trial.
Okay, GOG trials. Okay, these are all the trials with. What do you mean by action trial?
Comparing.
Okay. It's adjuvant chemotherapy. That is what the action trial is. Okay, leave it. See, name 3 or 4 trials for screening which is going on. PLCO, UK TICOS, Japanese and Kentucky trial. These are the 4 trials going on for. Just names only you have to learn. 4 trials which are going on for the screening of ovarian cancer. Pramila.
Yes.
Pramila, just I will share just 1 minute. I will share one PPT on ORADs because now nothing was discussed here because this is a latest because from IOTA we are shifting to ORADs now. So I thought it would have been discussed, but that is the only reason why I am pushing on. Anybody knows just one point? Anybody knows last class I would have told you Bhagyalakshmi, Meera, anybody know Sethu Lakshmi, Meera, anybody knows about ORADs classification for adnexial mass? IOTA, it was in UK. Yes. What is ORADs? I will give the. See, allow me to share my screen fast. Pramila, allow me to share my screen.
You can share your screen.
You can share, no issues.
Okay, thank you. This is just, see, like it's a risk stratification and management system. That's an ORADs. ORADs is adnexial ovarian adnexial reporting and data system. That is what is called a ORAD system. See, leave all these things. I just don't want to confuse you. Only see this. See, there are 5 classes. Okay, there are PGs, there are 5 classes. Okay. ORADs 1 means it's a normal ovary. See, basically the classification, it's like B and M rules, the IOTA classification itself. Here, there, B and M, then again it was divided into low risk, high risk. Here, it is like ORADs 1, it's a normal ovary. Normal ovary means it contains a follicle or a corpus luteum. It comes under normal ovary. Okay. Then it's a ORADs 2. ORADs 2 is a classical lesions. Here also the chance, ORADs 1, no chance of malignancy. ORADs 2, the chance of malignancy is less than 1%. Typical features like you have a simple cyst, hemorrhagic cyst, a dermoid, an endometriotic cyst with typical. Okay. ORADs 3, it's all these cysts which have something different. So for example, a uniocular cyst, it's a mixture of the other criteria itself. The uniocular cyst more than 10 centimeter. Then the uniocular cyst, madam had shown that how the smooth inner wall is there. Here it is an irregular wall. or a multilocular cyst, then it comes to uniocular. When multilocular, it comes to 3. So at your level, the risk comes to 1 to 10%. So these are all the ORADs. Then comes ORADs 4. Okay, ORADs 4, then little more. See, multiocular cyst, more than 10 centimeter, color score has increased. If you see the previous slide, color score was only 1. Then the Doppler starts to change. It becomes the ORADs 4 actually. So solid areas, without solid areas with color score 1 to 3, like that, it is not 4. So like that, it comes to the ORADs 4. That is ORADs 4. The risk of malignancy ranges from 10 to 50%. Then comes ORADs 5. This is the original malignancy. So what you have described at the malignancy, what's ORADs 5? So ORADs 1, normal ovary. ORADs 2, the normal classical findings in radiology. ORADs 3 means when you go through it, lack of time, I'm not repeating everything. Little more than that. ORADs 4 is what? It's about 10 to 50% malignancy, and ORADs 5, when the Doppler changes 3 to 4 and there is solid areas and multilocular septa, all the findings which is occur. So the last part I should tell you is that, see, this is what they changed from Adinex to ORACS classification. How it got changed? The latest 2018-19 it came. So most of the radiologists, higher centers, they report nowadays as ORADS risk classification. So it is very simple. You can see this is it was a benign lesion. So from here, 3, 4, and 5, they divided into low risk, intermediate risk, and high risk. Almost the same. It becomes little more easy when in the classification. So, so they told that what is easy, why it is classified. Simple. ORADs 1, ORADs 2, any gynecologist can manage. ORADs 3 also gynecologist can manage. ORADs 4, if you are asked, with the gynecologist, normal gynecologist can manage with consulting with an oncologist. Okay. ORADs 5 should be referred to a gynec oncology center. Okay. This is how this is divided. So we come to the end. So we discussed 1, 2, 3, 4. We discussed the history part. I'm not going into it. We discussed. So whenever you, after the history, we wanted to know that what it's a malignant or, see, it's a ovarian or not. First point, malignant or not. Okay. This is what the bottom. Then we classified it. It did in ultrasound. Then we did CT scan, MRI, tumor markers. Okay. FNAC is not a must. Again and again, I am telling FNAC is not a must for early stage. Only if you are planning for, then you want a tissue diagnosis. It can be done through the laparoscope or finish. That's it. Then you go for, your 2 options are there. You are going for, you are an excellent surgeon. Surgery is the primary treatment. Definitely, if you are asked, surgery is a primary treatment. You have, but if you are going for a surgery, you have to do complete cytoreduction. Nothing, no macroscopic disease should be left behind. Okay. Otherwise, you go for a neoadjuvant chemotherapy. 6 cycles has to be given, all except for grade stage 1A, grade 1AB, that is a grade 1-2. Other than you have to go for neoadjuvant adjuvant chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is and we know paclitaxel, carboplatin, bevacizumab has also come. PARP inhibitors for BRCA positive cases. It's simple. Okay. Now on the other side, you are going for extensive. So if you classify it, there's a staging laparotomy, then a radical and an ultra radical, where I am not asking which are the things removed and all these things were shown by. Then this is about this thing. And then how do you follow up these cases? Follow up these cases, you have to do 3 monthly. Ultrasound is what? And an clinical examination, TVS and a clinical examination. CT scan is done. Whenever the CA125 is raising, you have to do over a CT scan, and then according to that. So we learned, you have to learn about recurrence. You have recurrence or relapse. You have to learn about, then comes a platinum sensitive, platinum resistant. What are the things has to be done in each? Okay. This is how you have to know chemotherapy different ways. You have to know radiotherapy is useful or not. They will ask you what is the role of laparoscopy, what is the role of radiotherapy. All these are, there are so many other questions are there. The lack of time we cannot discuss. So this is about, and very important about borderline. One word I should tell about borderline. See, invasive stromal invasion. That is what the borderline, the word that is absent. That is what is the borderline. And borderline, when you are asked, it's the staging is the same like the ovarian malignancy. And one more word is that when you have a borderline, you also classify it's the same thing. Stage 1 borderline, no need of, but stage 2, 3, 4 chemotherapy has to be given. And when there is, and another point is when there is invasive implant. So when there is invasive implants, the recurrence rate very high. And one more question they will ask you very commonly. I heard from the co-examiner in one exam that a gynecologist has done TAH-BSO and the report comes as malignancy. Report comes as ovarian malignancy. What will you do? Within 2 weeks, a patient is coming. You can try to go for a repeat staging, complete staging you can do, or you have to wait, you have to give an adjuvant chemotherapy is there. Even you go for a complete, again, the chance for, there is so many things are there, the lack of time. Kunju Moideen, thank you so much. And all of you, please wait for the last event of quiz. Yesterday could not be, and at least 20 quiz you will enjoy and you will get prizes also. Thank you, Kunju Moideen. Thank you, Premila, Nishi Madam, Reshmi, everybody, and Bahab sir, everybody, Bhagyalakshmi Madam, especially. Such a nice program. I was enjoying actually listening to all the talks. Everything was covered actually. Everything. All your PGs are so lucky. I feel jealous of you. Really telling. In our time, we never had such programs. And Bhagyalakshmi Madam and ICOG and all, everybody create. Every week you have PG programs, PG lectures. So jealous of you children that we missed so many things. We could not, we had to read so many, no internet, nothing was there, no technology was, we had to go to library and read the books and take rocks of books. Oh, it was difficult time. You are lucky, very lucky.
Thank you, Dr. Ashwath. Thank you for that lively discussion. And even though Abraham sir has left, I thank him also. And we now go to the last
you, madam.
academic session. Thank you, Sethu, Srinija,